Shout out section 125. Of course, showing you all the love. As today's honorary season ticket number of the match, you're going to go home with an SAFC brand pen, courtesy of our good friends at America's Diamond. Now, if you're wondering, on your seats, you're like, man, how can I be like Eddie? I want to be like him. Well, make sure to visit the season ticket headquarters over at section 101. They're going to treat you like all sorts of great perks. You can do stuff like this and hang out all season long. Well, we want to thank America's Diamond and our season ticket number of the match they released for being such proud supporters of San Antonio FC. And if you're seated behind the goals, watch out. The soccer ball will be flying your way. So pay attention. And let's make sure tonight's headers only happen on the field.
Yeah, my setups for you are just going to be Sacramento Republic, led by their all-time, one of their all-time greats, Danny Vitiello, and then the next lead-in will be, and we highlight the SAFC offense, which has really come to life lately, and then it'll have like a little graphic that's like whatever that is, like so many goals in the last 3 matches. Because it was a 3-3 draw that we called against the Switchbacks. Scored 1 against Phoenix, scored 1 against Knoxville. So what's the math on that? 5 goals in the last 3 matches.
USL and San Antonio FC among good sportsmanship by athletes, coaches, and spectators. Request your cooperation by supporting the athletes and officials in a positive manner. Offensive language, including racial or sexist comments or other intimidating actions directed at officials, athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds removable from the site of competition. Please refrain from putting objects.
7 goals in the last 3 matches? Is that math right? Oh, okay. Okay. So not talking about the Birmingham. Well, yeah, I guess they scored 3 goals against El Paso Locomotive. Okay, I see. That makes sense. Yes. In USL Championship play. Gotcha.
Assistant referee Alexander Alita, assistant referee Jacobo Supira, and official Ryan Linscoff.
Is there water up here? I'll also take a beer from the bar if that works too. Yeah. oh, really? Oh, I mean, if you can, thank you. That'd be great. I realize I need water right now and don't have water. It's on me. Okay.
Tonight's match features Sacramento Republic FC and your San Antonio FC. The starting lineup for the Sacramento Republic FC, number 1, Danny Vitiello.
Oh, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Defender number 4, Lee Desmond. Defender number 5, Jared Timmer. Defender number 15, Aaron Hessel.
Oh, by the way, I tried to listen to that interview with Neil Collins, and I don't understand Scottish people. Like, I need subtitles for that. Like, it reminds me of Robin Williams' bit where he's like, if you want a linguistic adventure, you should go drinking with a Scotsman because he couldn't understand him before. And it's a really hilarious bit. Yeah. And it kills in Britain. How we doing? I don't like the sound of that, Liam. Let's change the oh boy to oh boy. We get to call soccer on this is uphill battle. This is why Avery put you in charge, because he doesn't want to have to deal with it. Lucio Barón. Maldonado. Yes, sir. Oh, we can just talk. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. You know, so we're going tail of the tape, and then Vitiello, and then SAFC goal streak, and then lineups and kickoff when we come back, right? Yeah, well, okay, my bad. I'm looking at the rundown now. We're doing goals, then Vitiello. Gotcha.
Is this live?
The San Antonio Storm stay away from Toyota Field, the site of a USL Western Conference clash between Sacramento Republic FC and top of the table SAFC. Hello everyone, along with Katie Goodman and the rest of the crew, I'm Carl Schoening. Happy you guys joined us this evening, as we thought we weren't even going to play this one, but all of a sudden the skies clear up and it's going to be a good evening of football here in San Antonio. Katie, these are two teams that are above the playoff line, and in this USL Championship, it's always a fun time when you have two teams of high caliber.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you've got Sac Republic. It's just a storied rival between the two. So you know you're going to get a good matchup. Two really strong defensive teams. You can see only 9 goals against there for San Antonio, only 7 for Sac Republic. Goals about the same, 12 and 11. Struggling on the road there is Sac Republic, so maybe an opportunity here for San Antonio, but definitely leading the way there with those 10 assists, and leading the league is San Antonio also with those 5 clean sheets.
All signs point to a draw between these two teams, as San Antonio FC is undefeated here at Toyota Field, while Sac Republic is undefeated on the road with an 0-3 record. But we get to check out all of the goals that SAFC has been scoring, as they have been on a tear lately, Katie.
Yes, lots of incredible work there for San Antonio FC, and scoring from all kinds of places. As you can see there, Eurofave doing a great job just to pick it off and get on the end of it. And then, of course, you've got your Jorge Hernandez able to put it in, but then you also have your defenders here for San Antonio FC getting up into the attack, whether it's Cornali or Thiago Suarez. Lots of players all across the pitch here for San Antonio able to put it away. And that's what makes them so hard to defend, is you never know where that bullet's going to come from.
Yeah, certainly from all over the place. Of course, Thiago Suarez scoring the most recent goal for SAFC in the Prinks Tires USL Cup against One Knoxville. Check out the players to watch. We start off with Danny Vitiello on the other side for Republic FC.
Vitiello, it's a name that you know in the USL Championship and across every league, really. 16 saves, 3 clean sheets, has 4 clean sheets against San Antonio, but it's his ability to stop, his mentality. I had a chance to talk to Coach Neal, and he had mentioned that it's his consistency, it's his drive. He just never feels like he's quite good enough, so he just keeps going and pushing. I saw him stop a PK the other day that no other keeper, I don't think, in this league could have stopped. So he's going to be the guy to get past here tonight if you're San Antonio.
SAFC looking to do so. On the other side of this break, we have starting lineups and kickoff from Toyota Field on Pride Night here in San Antonio.
Oh, yeah. People in this industry know all about
I thought that commercial was you for a second,
firm.
saying, oh, yeah.
If we get a case with their name on it, then we know for darn sure we are likely not settling cheap.
Yeah, I'm adjusting to retired life fine. I don't have to go up against the at Davis Law Firm anymore. Believe me, we tried, but it was hard to lowball those.
Dealing with insurance companies after a wreck can be a real challenge. If you're hurt, remember the 4-letter word that can help. Want more? Call the Force.
Yeah, 1 second. My monitor is wired to my...
Dude.
What do you do when you throw out your back?
Use caution when lifting heavy objects.
How do I eliminate back pain?
I'm not tracking any rain right now.
Back pain?
Got it. Calling back Shane.
Forget it.
Sorry, didn't get that. High-quality emergency care. Find your nearest location.
$10 for a large, $10 for any 3 toppings, $10 for your choice of hot crust. Like our new garlic parm hand tossed. Because there's crust, and then there's hut crust. The crust you crave, only $10. Order in the Pizza Hut app.
When you donate or shop at Goodwill, you'll help train future truck drivers through our local career training programs. Good job, everyone.
San Antonio FC is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. And by Methodist Healthcare, proudly offering 10 neighborhood ERs across San Antonio. Hello, everyone. I'm Carl Schoening, along with Katie Goodman, Sacramento Republic FC, and San Antonio Football Club. Ready to get started. Let's check out the starting lineups brought to you by Rico's. We start off with the visitors, Sacramento Republic. They'll go 4-2-3-1, Katie.
Yeah, 4-2-3-1, and they've got Jared Timmer back on the back line. Had suffered a knee injury, had been out for 7 months, so having him back, really a game changer. You can see that in the string of wins in their past 3 recently. And of course, you've got Malongo, the newer signing there up top, who's done a really good job as of late, just putting it away.
And the starters for Carlos Humosa's club as they go 5-2-3 with wingers on either side. Yeah,
Lucio Barone is back, another face that we haven't seen here at home for a long time. And so having him back on that back defensive midfielder position is also going to really help San Antonio here, considering this is such an even matchup. Very similar styles of play, defensive powerhouses. You really need those 5 in the back to hold up against this Sac Republic team.
Pizza kickoff already underway here in the opening minute at Toyota Field. Sacramento Republic wearing the white kits with the maroon trim, the black and red kits on the SAFC side, and already in the attacking third, Sacramento Republic. They enjoy scoring first, as they would certainly like to start this match off with a bang. We had a blackout about, 30 minutes before kickoff that put this match start time in question. And I mentioned those storms. We do have some storms that could be lingering in the area. Hopefully no delays, but if lightning strikes within 10 miles of the field, we have to have a pause.
An interesting setup to the match, no doubt, but the soccer gods, they wanted this game to start on time. So here we are playing, at the moment, a beautiful game of soccer on a beautiful day.
Mitch Tanner intercepts the pass and will control for SAFC in the first time in the match. Bounces all the way back out to Benitez. Intercepted by Suarez, but advantage wasn't played to, and a free kick at the edge of the attacking third for Sacramento Republic. Foul goes against Jorge Hernandez, or at least he'll be the one questioning it here.
I'd be questioning Jorge if he weren't questioning the foul, because he always questions it every single time. So guarantee that.
Malongo tried to intercept take the pass there, but couldn't quite handle it, and then just sent into touch for Sacramento Republic FC throw there by Alex Carnali.
Only 2 minutes, under 2 minutes in here, but it just seems like both teams trying to get a hold of the ball. I mean, already 2 quick challenges and fouls here early on. Both guys down.
Yeah, Malongo draws the foul, but I don't think there's any winners in this one, as we get another look at it here. And Lucio Barone, welcome back to Toyota Field. Here's an injury.
Looks like a bit of a step on the ankle or the boot there. That one hurts. And especially, we had just mentioned, already coming back from injury, and it doesn't take but a few minutes just to get another knock, but good to see both guys up and moving there.
Barone jogging it off. Free kick in a dangerous area here for Sacramento Republic. We check out our Methodist Healthcare injury report. Methodist Healthcare proudly offering 10 neighborhood ERs across San Antonio. You see Pirano and Pacheco, 2 major players, along with Alex Grave, who are out this evening for SAFC.
Pirano, hold that thought.
Benitez skies this one towards the 6, and Malongo's going to try and track it down before it goes to the corner, but it's last off of SAFC, so a quick throw in here for Sacramento. Looking for a cross. Ends up across the end line as Jack Gurr, playing in his 3rd match of USL Championship, is awarded the corner on his effort.
Going back to Pirano, not only a guy that San Antonio is really missing here, but it's a guy that also Sacramento Republic is missing. He played for Sac last season, had a chance to talk to head coach Neil Collins. He mentioned that he really enjoyed working with Pirano. He liked to see how he developed, and I could see it too from when he was at San Antonio last to where he's been here. He's just really shining.
Michel Benitez sends it into the box. At the 18, it's sent away. Penalty arc fighting for collection, and Sacramento Republic will send it back out to reset spacing. A recycle of the service off the head of Barone and across the end line. And, well, Barone knew he didn't touch it. That's why he didn't give much of an effort. It just missed his hair by a millimeter. And the first touch here to the starting goalkeeper for SAFC, Joseph Petruni.
Yeah, I think it went off the shin guard there of Lee Desmond as well. So just barely clipped it. And, of course, Petruni here putting that ball back on play, working with a 75.7% save percentage, actually 2nd in the league for clean sheets right now.
Jorge Hernandez had an opportunity, but he's past the last defender. Offside whistle and free kick for Sacramento. And a little bit of lecture going, and Jorge Hernandez there for delaying the start of the free kick.
Carl, you had mentioned that this one could most likely end up in a draw, and you're totally right. Ooh, that's a big mishap there.
Yedo Faith takes advantage here. Sorto couldn't send the through ball. Hakeem O'Connor Ward has to deflect off his cleat to Malongo, and Malongo held up. A tactical foul, no card being shown though.
Guess you could say that goes both ways when it comes to turnovers there in a short period of time. There has been a ton of rain earlier today. I know it looks bright and sunny, but it makes me wonder what the conditions of the field are. You know, a lot of times the grass will come up easy. You're still slipping and sliding, even though it's not raining currently. So, you know, just it's been kind of a strange match so far. Can't help but wonder if that's not playing a role here.
Yeah, just the build up to the day has been an interesting one as pressure goes to the back line of SAFC. Alex Cernali turns and sends it away on a clearance for another Sacramento Republic throw. At the moment, it's 77 degrees in San Antonio, and that previously forecasted rain that was going to hit at 10:30 seems to have disappeared. So we should have no more interruptions, hopefully, the rest of the match. Knock on some wood for me.
Well, San Antonio seemed to show out anything anyway. If there's anything we know about San Antonio, even a forecast of rain will keep people at home. But also, you never know what's going to happen either here.
Sorto fouled Timmer there, and it leads to this eventual bouncing to Benitez. Quickly here, Rodriguez. Arturo Rodriguez sends it wide. Malongo tried to cross, blocked there by Hakeem O'Connor Ward. He tries to track it down before it goes across the touchline. Essel resets out to Timmer. Timmer with plenty of space. Whistle goes against Mitch Tainer, and looking for a little bit more, Arturo Rodriguez will just have to get the penalty or the foul marked at the edge of the attacking third.
Interesting for the ref to slow the play down there. You could tell Sacramento wanted to get it up and going and moving. I think had a lot more space there to try to drive down the middle, but here we are nonetheless.
Well, one sent into the area. Yerofe with an easy collection and send away. SAFC very defensive, not really looking to do much more than clear whenever it's in the attacking third this evening. Not trying to really control possession when they gather it around the penalty area.
And that specific instance, I think Yerofe just not used to building out of the back there. I think as far as clearances go, that was pretty good. Composed out to the line there far down that left side. But yeah, San Antonio, they have to get a little bit more composure and building out of the back, no doubt. I think both teams, as I'd mentioned before, have just struggled to kind of get a handle on the ball. Neither team really running, putting a string of passes together so far.
Thiago Suarez slows it down here. Speaking of passes, Mitch Tanner, who's 5th in USL Championship in passes, will receive another one and send another one. Suarez is hurried. Crognale, one touch. Benitez breaks it up, but Hakeem O'Connor-Ward has some space to move on a counter opportunity. Hierro Fave at the 18, looking for a cross. Sends it right to goal, and that'll be an easy collection for Vitiello.
Really incredible step there from Hakeem O'Connor-Ward just to read that one. Almost could have been a really bad situation. And
so here's the slow rolling cross as we saw Jorge Hernandez and Vitiello have a little bit of gamesmanship. Nobody quite there. Sorto is the closest one in the area for SAFC.
Yeah, it wasn't a clear opportunity. I think he needed more numbers up, or he needed a check across maybe towards the front of goal, or put it on frame himself, maybe try to chip the keeper there. But again, a lot easier said than done when you're sitting in a bird's eye view of what needs to happen in those moments. But for Vitiello, that was easy peasy pickup.
Yeah, don't trust me to handle the ball, that's for sure. At least at the USL Championship level. Essel trying to work out of the back, and he'll work it all the way back to Vitiello. Keeping it low despite just a soft breeze in his face. The build-up leads to center circle. Malongo gets it with a lot of space on the left side, and looks like flag was up. And Hakeem O'Connor-Ward gets to save his energy as he was sprinting back in defense.
Seems all parties are shocked here about that offside call.
I was a little confused by the whistle too.
Yeah, because when he received it, he was onside, but
whistles go certain ways sometimes. The Hierro Fave, the questionable calls returned to SAFC. Hakeem O'Connor-Ward wondering what the issue is. Carlos Llamosa saying let's move on to the next play. Free kick for Sacramento, handled there by Lee Desmond. Jared Timmer works it over to the opposite side. Jack Gurr with a long send down the sideline. Throw awarded to SAFC. Milqueo will handle the honors. Has to hop over the LED boards to get a new ball. That's fine. Have you ever seen those clips where the ball boy is the MVP for a quick restart that leads to a goal?
Yes, I have seen that.
Could use some of those when the games really get to the close scoreboard or watching times of the standings.
Yeah. But home field advantage, I guess you could say.
Find some eager volunteers that would be willing to maybe be better at it for SAFC than the opponent. Suarez has to do something with it quickly, and a long send across the halfway line. Nice touch ends up to the feet of Hakeem O'Connor-Ward. Ward with options. Maldonado looking to switch the pitch. Mitch Tanner. A little too strong on that one.
Up until that moment, San Antonio was doing a better job there to command the game. Just got to settle things down a little bit. And as you'd mentioned, Carl, this is going to be a defensive matchup, so it's just two really solid defenses going head-to-head here.
No whistle on the collision, and SAFC looks to take advantage. Crognale surveys ahead. O'Connor-Ward moves the defenders by moving back to Crognale.
And then when we talk about the depth of both of these teams, San Antonio is struggling a bit here without having Diogo Pacheco and Pirano scoring firepower to pull from at the moment. But Sacramento still sitting on Mark Anthony Kaye, a really storied career of a soccer player, well known in Major League Soccer, and played for LAFC for a couple seasons, was on the All-Star team, and now here with Sac Republic, and also battled some injuries, so got a little bit of a later start to the season. Still a big gun for them to pull from here.
Yerofev looking for some separation. O'Connor Ward across the 18. Flag is up as that shot from Sorto won't count.
Offside call there for San Antonio, but still some pretty good movement coming from up top. You can feel that San Antonio is hungry. Just got to work on that timing of the run, but intention there is good. Also, the final finish for San Antonio needs to be a little bit stronger, and that's something that head coach Carlos Llamosa had mentioned was something they're still trying to work on. A lot of times they'll go up in goals, they'll let other teams kind of hang around, ends up in a draw or just a near win, and not really happy with that. So a big part of it is just having stronger finishes.
Malongo able to pull it down against O'Connor Ward. It'll roll across the end line. Last touch there by Akeem O'Connor Ward, and another corner kick awarded to Sacramento Republic. Halfway through the 14th minute. Second corner of the evening here for Sacramento. Arturo Rodriguez finds his spot on the corner mark. Benitez comes in for the short option. Except he's way too short for the short option. Rodriguez will send it towards the 6. Off the head of Mitch Tainer and then bounced back by Akeem O'Connor Ward. Benitez plays it laterally here. Chance for Rodriguez. Casas leaves in some space. High cross here from Benitez on the opposite post. Tracked down, and Thiago Suarez with the hustle will win possession for SAFC. Then it's taken right back there by Jared Timmer. Into the out box, a foul will be called against Sacramento and a free kick for SAFC.
That little back and forth there is just a perfect picture of what we're going to see all game long here between these two teams. I mean, one turnover, but then it's the hustle back there for Sacramento that gets them into this position. But of course, Thiago Suarez with the solid defensive play also just to tie them up and hold them up.
Suarez on cue with a slow walk forward. Nice through ball to Maldonado.
You talk about defensive depth for San Antonio. They have a lot of depth to pull from, and it's so hard being on this team and if you are on the bench, because a lot of these bench players could start in other programs. But, you know, so far San Antonio's done a really good job of still rotating some faces. Every now and then you see Danny Barbier, you see Thiago Suarez here. Just depends on who they're up against and what formation they want to work with.
Canal with the long send looking for Sorto, but it goes off of the head of Jared Timmer. Collected here by Yerofev. Nice through ball that Sorto didn't see was intended for Hernandez. Sorto wants to try his shot at it anyway, and it's right to Vitiello, who drops on top before Hernandez can create a play off the poacher's goal. That opportunity there by Hernandez. He's going to be looking for it all night, but Vitiello, he's a crafty keeper.
Sorto here with the hustle just to get on the end of that. But if you're going to try to have a go at it against this Vitiello, it's going to have to be a much cleaner look. It's going to have more power on it. You got to respect Jorge Hernandez trying to get there on the second ball.
Suarez keeps it out of the area. Barone finds O'Connor Ward as this game is starting to pick up its pace a little bit.
Area where San Antonio FC could take note of is just getting the switch going quicker on that last movement forward. They had a big switch on, instead went through the middle.
No whistle, now there's one. We're about to play on, and now we have a free kick. Neil Collins disagrees as Jorge Hernandez, a little slow to get up, gets the whistle.
Look at this. He does a great job of opening up, tries to do the Meg, and you can see there the push from behind. His back of his neck there is what pushes him down there by Aaron Essel. So, yeah, good call on the ref.
Yeah, Neil Collins was a bit far away from that one.
Didn't have the best angle, I don't think.
I didn't see the hand to the face either, so I understand.
He did have a lot of great things to say about Aaron Essel, though, mentioning he's played in a couple different positions since he's had him, is really happy with what he's seen from him in his signing
Fans strongly disagree with Sorto waiting for that ball to come to his feet before the flag comes up.
I don't know that if I would agree with that one being an offside call, but there's not enough of a rally from the bench there from SAFC to say otherwise. Usually that's a good indicator, but from that quick snapshot that I saw there, didn't seem like it was offside, and the crowd's not happy about it.
Crowd wants to see goals, Katie.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
Malongo, who scored the last goal here for Sacramento Republic, working it towards the box. He gets into the box with a nice touch, and across the end line, couldn't control it, but a nice move. And Whistle's looking for some dissent there, and I think we will have a yellow shown. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. He kicked the ball boy's ball. As you can see there, does such a great job to beat them. Even dodging the tackle, really incredible work there. Just messes up on that second touch, and the frustration almost hit the ball girl there while clearing it out of frustration. You just can't allow your emotions to get the best of you, especially when you do all the work to get there and to do so well. Yeah, that's a well-deserved yellow. Lucky for him, it's a yellow.
Mael Malongo gets his second yellow card of the USL Championship season. You should have seen his banger of a goal in the 56th minute against the Roots back in USL Cup play last week, or earlier this week. A sick cartwheel to backflip celebration on top of it, but he was certainly not celebrating in that particular case.
He's the type.
The 20th minute.
Sorry, I was going to say he's the type, as evidence there. You just can't give him space because he's really good on the dribble. That's exactly why he was recruited. And when you look at that goal that he had, it was at the far side of the left side of the 18, and all it took was one little touch, and he had a look at goal, and he put it in the opposite side netting. So, has definitely been a powerhouse there for Sacramento, but just so good on the dribble.
Lucio Barón commits the foul on the aerial duel. Free kick coming up for Sacramento Republic as Arturo Rodriguez hits the deck.
San Antonio FC, is so grateful to have Lucio Barón back on the pitch. He is just one of those stopper-sweeper type positions who does a great job of coming in, backing up his defenders, backing up his midfielders. Truly a connecting piece between the midfield and the back line, and just does so well defensively. What gets him in trouble are these fouls, though. He's got to be careful with those. But last season was really well known for his distribution forward, his contribution to the game, and then just suffered an injury early on, and this is one of his first games back.
Seems like we're ready to resume play. After a quick huddle there, even Vitiello came out from his mark on frame. Pressure against the back line will take an easy bounce there to Petruni. Joseph Petruni and Richard Sanchez both do a great job manning the goal for SAFC. And Petruni, the SAFC Academy product, has really come on and shown that development works, as he's one of the best keepers in the USL Championship, being tested early a few times early going to this match.
Between him and Richard Sanchez, there's a ton of competition at practice. Richard Sanchez had all the starts last season, and Joey Petruni getting most of the starts this season. Still, Richard coming in and out, but this is what it's going to be so difficult about taking down this SAFC team, is they have a ton of talent in their reserves. So, but yeah, Joey so far really standing out this season.
Cronulla with a nice move to get past Malongo, and then sends it back to Petruni. Plenty of space to decide what he wants to do with it. Keeps it on the ground. Thiago Suarez to center circle. Sorto with a nice redirect here to Yerofev. Yerofev has options. Decides to cut back. Looking for a left-footed strike. Instead, it's a slow roller that'll be sent away on the solid defense. Give the clearance there to Jack Gurr, and then a foul goes against Sacramento Republic, trying to fight for position near center circle. Arturo Rodriguez whistled for the foul.
For both teams, it's going to be about how they capitalize on moments of transition. We've seen San Antonio get quite a few opportunities going and brewing in transition. Sacramento not as many, but the problem with San Antonio is they're just not clinical enough in those transitional moments. So can fully expect that if there is a chat at halftime or at a water break, it's going to be, hey, how can we be a little bit better? How can we maybe be about a step or a pass ahead when moving into that attacking third?
Jorge Hernandez almost laps the field with chances created in the USL Championship with 31. The next closest is at 20. He has a chance to create a chance here at the center circle. Free kick lined right to Vitiello.
Distributions just seem to be off for San Antonio this evening.
Jack Gurr gets past the defender. He's playing himself forward, well off his mark, and a long send past the back line. And then a good job to send that one into touch on the defensive effort there from Emil Cuello.
Sending my snaps there to Emil Cuello for an incredible tackle, and just reading of that entire development. Jack Kerr, tough guy to beat, and did a really great job there just getting all ball in that challenge.
Tyler Wolf had a chance there, but Cuello got to it before him. Throw-in will end up to Petruni, and Petruni sends it back into the stands right where the touch throw-in was.
Tyler Wolf, another impressive addition to the Sacramento roster this season. Comes from Real Salt Lake, Major League Soccer.
Wolf on cue sends it right to Petruni, who plays it at the post, and then I think Petruni caught it before it went across the end line, but he was across the end line, so now we have a corner kick, if I'm seeing this correctly. Yes, Sacramento Republic just now catching on, and Michel Benitez will once again handle the honors. So this is interesting. Here's a replay, and it looks like Petruni could have let it go, but he decides to just let his instincts win.
Yeah, that ball looked like it was totally out before he even collected it.
Missed header. Another chance here for Rodriguez. Arturo Rodriguez trying to shake the pressure of Thiago Suarez. His turn and shoot goes off the body of Suarez. Good defense. Now all the way back to Vitiello from Gurr. Vitiello wants to pressure the back line, looking for Malongo. Kim O'Connor Ward heads it across the touchline.
Probably one of the best outside backs in the USL Championship is Hakeem O'Connor Ward. Just his composure in those tight moments, his distribution forward, the speed that he brings. You know, he kind of gives striker vibes, but he's in that outside back role.
Mitch Tanner intercepts the pass away from Wolf. Wolf comes back into the play. Rodriguez tries to strike, it goes off the post, and then a recovery, but Trudy gets the save.
Easily save of the week there for Petruni in the USL Championship. I mean, it's a point-blank shot, gets lucky there with the post, but it's that pop back up, luckily right back in his hands, but not giving up on the initial dive, the speed in which he gets back up and moves all the way over to the right. That is some next-level stuff. That's where your physical training comes into play day in and day out there.
Forster Jago denied his second goal of the season thanks to the save by Petruni. You see it right there, almost a 76% save percentage, which is fourth in USL, and make that 30 saves now as he's second in USL Championship play with keeping the goal from going across the goal line. Mitch Tannerson to center circle, Yerofei with a nice cut. Sorto onside, tries to strike, goes into the back of the net! 1-0, SAFC!
It felt like the entire stadium was still wrapped up in that last play that happened on the end of the field. And when we talked about capitalizing on transitional moments, that's exactly what San Antonio did just now. Sordo camped out in the perfect spot. First goal of the season for Sordo. Does well to place it. He's had a couple of goes at it here. Does not waste this opportunity. Great spin. Sets himself up well. Nice, easy spot there into the side netting. And just like that, San Antonio up 1-0.
Goal in the 27th minute. SAFC takes an early lead, and we talked about it in the open. SAFC has been on quite the tear offensively. That continues.
As you said, Sorto gets his first goal of the season.
7 goals in the last 3 games. Now that's 8 goals in the last 4. I believe they had doubled the amount of goals they scored in that first month in their season of play. And so whatever they're working on in practice must be working really well for them. And, you know, now this is also Sorto's first start in USL Championship play, too. So maybe that is something that's helping him out there. But you could tell he wanted it from the first whistle. His checks across the field, his movement up top, really everywhere there. And finally just found himself in the right spot at the right time.
Well, how about the save by Petruni that started off the 27th minute, and then moments later, Sorto comes away with the opening score. And SAFC will have to deal with some smoke in Petruni's eyes, but happily. Essel sends it wide. And goes into touch. Yeah, to your point, SAFC started the season with 2 goals against Phoenix Rising, but then against Tulsa they were scoreless. Against New Mexico United they only scored 1 goal, 2 goals against Lexington SC. No goals against Tulsa in a Open Cup match that eliminated them from the Open Cup. No goals against Monterey Bay FC. No goals against Orange County FC. No goals in that draw against Miami FC that we did. So, yeah, finally against the Locomotive, they scored 3 goals, and that's opened up the floodgates. 3-3 draw against the Colorado Springs Switchbacks. 1-1 draw against Phoenix Rising. 1-0 win against 1 Knoxville in the USL Cup play last game that they played on the 16th. And now 1 goal up here on Sacramento Republic with plenty of time left in the first half.
It's interesting to see how these teams develop over time. San Antonio FC went from not scoring much to scoring and then still allowing other teams to hang around. So that's the other part of this is San Antonio has done well to put up some goals, but now it's just finishing out the full 90 minutes of this performance and not letting up anything else. Malongo, I think, has had quite a few close calls, and as mentioned, there's still a lot of firepower on the bench for Sacramento.
Rodriguez at the 18 kicks back. A try that goes over the crossbar there from Pep Casas.
Typically his bread and butter there for Pep Casas, sitting on 1 assist this season in that Oakland game, but had quite a good look there. One of the best of the game, I think, for Sacramento. And that's, again, another difficult part about this Sacramento team is they come in waves. They're relentless. They don't give up, whether it's winning that second ball in the attacking third or the second ball, you know, on the defensive side. They've had a couple of goals just from the follow-up.
Foul will go against Sacramento Republic on the aerial duel that skies over everybody, but leaves Lucio Barone on the grass. Or excuse me, that's Emil Cuello. So Cuello needs a moment. And understandably gets undercut. Ooh. I was a little blocked on that one, but man, that's a dangerous play.
Yeah, tabletopped quite a bit. Not much you can do there also as a defender because you're just there going up for the challenge, and then you've got Emil Cuello with mad ups. And
yeah, the vertical was impressive. Yeah. The injury avoidance
not so much.
Chance, yeah, not necessarily what we were looking for. But here's Cronulla as we restart. Hakeem O'Connor Ward. A lot of contact, no whistle. And now we finally have a foul go against Sacramento Republic as the advantage was not played to. Benitez, a little too physical.
Well, when you look at how that all transpired, there's a huge slip there from Hakeem O'Connor Ward. You can see the grass patch on the pitch.
Jorge Hernandez leaves us in some space. Cuello couldn't quite make a move and slides right into the very expensive LED panel.
Not as expensive as Emil Cuello.
Yeah, the cleats don't seem to leave a mark, or at least that I can see.
Great way of identifying just that switch was there, and that's what makes Jorge Hernandez such a formidable force. He's got his head on a swivel. He knew Cuello was there running on the backside.
A lot of pressure coming from SAFC. Yellow Faith steals the ball and will try a spin on the ball into the net. 2-0 SAFC. Dimitri Yellow gets his 3rd goal of the season.
Eurofave's 3rd goal of the season, but I would argue the best goal of the season, Carl. I mean, the way he got himself into position, the calm attitude. It's like he knew that ball was going to go in. Just great work there. Had all the time to set it up. And was able to just bend it right there around Vitiello, which is an achievement in itself, considering Vitiello and his record at the moment.
One more look at it. This will be the best angle, I think. Look at all the spin put on this one. Called it a bend, and it bent.
And you got to hand it to San Antonio. Both goals tonight, so good. You know, the Sordo doing a great job of staying composed in front of goal, putting it into that side netting, and then Eurofave, young Eurofave, doing a really good job of just showing the sparks out here. You know, the creativity, the bend around the keeper, and this is the kind of thing that fans come out to watch soccer for.
Dmitry Eurofave puts SAFC up 2-0 in the 33rd minute. We start the 34th, and Sacramento Republic's got their work cut out for them.
But you know what they say, Carl.
It's the worst lead?
Yep.
Yeah.
You know exactly what I'm going to say. 2-0 is the worst lead in soccer.
We've done a few of these games together.
It's like you know what I'm going to say.
Ball stays in play into the area. Just past Rodriguez, he'll have to recover. Arturo Rodriguez looking to turn the corner. Marked there by Suarez. Sends it wide, Gurr. Gurr can't get a cross off, and it looked like he might have actually gotten it off, and then they called across the end line, and a goal kick here for Petruni, who was still ready to play that ball and punched it over the crossbar. Good to see. Still good look there by Petruni as his instincts continue to play in factor.
Yeah,
but yet clearly across.
That one definitely crossed the plane there, but not taking any chances after that last call that ended up in an additional corner kick opportunity. Such a strange call. A couple weird ones out here tonight, I would say.
It's been a different evening, but SAFC will take it if it means a 2-0 lead heading into the half. Still plenty of time to get greedy and look for 3. Tainer heads that one up, and it ends up across the halfway line. Malongo trying to chase it down. Marked there by Okeem O'Connor. Ward. Malongo. Met by Crognale, gets past Crognale. Then tries a strike. It bounces off and will be a goal kick for Sacramento Republic.
A couple of times now that Malongo has done good to get up into the end line, but he tends to get himself caught. Big part of that is, you know, San Antonio's smothering defense, but he just doesn't have a ton of support. Almost might be better for him to try to get to that end line sooner, look for that run coming back, but just hasn't quite landed there for Sacramento yet.
Rodriguez has a go off the head there of Santiago Suarez, and then Crognale heads it out on the clearance on the cross. Jared Timmer will have time to operate. And Timmer miscues the pass intended for Arturo Rodriguez. You can tell by the body language he wasn't going to even give the effort on that one.
Yeah, knew that one was out of reach.
Thiago Suarez. Mitch Tainer just gets it off. Jorge Hernandez, errant pass, Malongo. Mayo Malongo hurdles a defender, looks for a strike, instead leaves for Rodriguez. Arturo Rodriguez leaves for Gurr. Gurr has his pass deflected. Malongo couldn't get to it before Crognale sends it into touch on the clearance.
Almost looked like a handball there for a minute from Malongo, but center ref was right there. And just a little bit of chaos, which is interesting. Both teams just struggling on the distribution. Just looking back at it here, there's the challenge, and yeah, his hand is up, trying to probably get it out of the way. It's obviously unintentional, but the fact that his arms were big and not behind his back or away, I think would constitute that as a handball. No harm, no foul, though, for San Antonio.
Switch of the pitch here for SAFC. Kim O'Connor Ward gives it up there to Maldonado, and Maldonado pushed into touch, and the throw awarded there to Sacramento Republic from Pep Casa's defense. And now whistles are changing up the call, I believe. Or at least breaking up some conversation. Arturo Rodriguez doesn't like our official Robert Versi to get involved the way he was getting involved. He wanted the continuation of play, but a quick, hey, we're friends there between Casas and Maldonado. Good sportsmanship.
starting to spice up here for the teams as frustrations run high.
We have been known to see an increase in yellow cards, Katie.
We're definitely not the team who has the second most yellows in the USL Championship or anything.
I get the feeling things are a bit more friendly tonight, as there's a lot of ties between Sacramento Republic and SAFC.
Truly. I mean, Mitch Tainer played there for many years before coming over to San Antonio, and then Thiago Suarez was part of the academy before coming over to San Antonio, and then, of course, Christian Pirano, who I think Sac Republic was fully expecting to have to handle out here this evening.
Can't forget about Tim Holt, somebody who was managing director here at SAFC, now running things over for Sacramento Republic. I believe I saw him on the pitch before the game.
Yeah, head coach Collins had mentioned he's really enjoyed working with Tim Holt. Lots of similarities here between these two teams this evening, and says that Holt just knows a ton about the USL Championship, really tapped into the league, and that really helps when you have someone running the show who knows their stuff.
Here's a long send for Gurr. Not going to get a touch on it, as Cuello does a great job defensively to keep that one from being pulled down, and then gets the throw. Jorge Hernandez with the fancy footwork. Couldn't quite direct it where he wanted to, and Gurr comes up with a loose ball. But yeah, last note on Tim Holt, part of the 2022 championship team for the USL Championship on the SAFC side. So obviously fond memories with him being involved with SAFC.
And it was in 2023 when Sacramento Republic eliminated San Antonio FC in the Western Conference Finals. So,
well, I wasn't going to bring that
up. Rather. Yeah. But, you know, that's just how it goes. These two teams are rivals, I would say. You know, they really go back. They're a thorn in each other's side. And I think every time you know that there's a matchup happening, you look forward to it because you know it's going to be good stuff, good soccer. Both teams typically above the playoff line by the time that they see each other, and both teams typically see each other in playoffs.
Granali chips it for Jorge Hernandez to send it across the halfway line, and then a foul should be called, not going to be fouled. Well, Lucio Barone catches the short end of no whistle. Casa pushed off his mark by Yerofave, and we play on. They're allowing the physicality out there. Robert Versi very much letting them play here at Toyota Field as we've hit twilight.
Probably tired of blowing the whistle and stopping so much play. Lots of bear hugs and double arm pushes.
You took it right from my head. They're letting the bear hugs out there. Here at center circle, Rodriguez trying to control some kind of momentum for Sacramento Republic, but then Wolf sends it into touch. '41st minute rolls on here. Jorge Hernandez, or excuse me, Maldonado. Hakeem O'Connor-Ward wide open on the right side. Gives it a go, and it'll fall right in the hands there of Vitiello. I thought that was going to sky over the crossbar, but the spin pulls it back down in the arms of Vitiello.
Just wasn't quite able to get the connection with the ball that he wanted.
Very interesting when a ball goes 25 feet in the air, though, and stays in play. High pressure coming from SAFC. Jared Timmer has it intercepted. Jorge Hernandez to the 18. It's turn and shoot by Sorto, off the mark.
Almost a second chance there for Sorto. You can see his head in his hands on that one, but again, did a really great job. Right place, right time. Great turn. He wants to hit it on the first touch, which you can't blame him on because you've got defenders closing things down just a little off the mark there. Either way, I think Vitiello would have been there to receive it. Just didn't have enough power on the back end of it.
SAFC playing like they want that third goal before halftime.
As they should.
And finally a whistle. A little bit too much there from Sorto holding up Jared Timmer.
San Antonio doing a good job to direct play, forcing Sacramento wide. As you can see, they've really overloaded the center of the field, just not made it easy at all for Sacramento. Sacramento, a team that like to go inside and then out, utilize the flanks, cross it in. San Antonio has not allowed them to do that here in this game.
Crognale has the defenders closing. Nice diagonal pass intended for Yero Fave, just goes past him. Lee Desmond sends it to Arturo Rodriguez. Jack Gurr. Marked by Cuello. Gets a cross off. Off the head of Okeem O'Connor Ward, but Malongo's there to receive outside the box. Tries to chip across the face of goal, headed up by Tainter. Costas has to retreat. Mayo Malongo splits the defenders. Looking for some space for a strike, not there. Switches the pitch intended for Gurr, intercepted. Cuello just sends it to center circle.
You could tell he was trying to drip it or chip it in there for Sordo. Sordo thought they were going over the top. But Malongo, I think that might have been his moment to put some power behind it. Tried to go the unselfish route, though, and switching the ball.
Essel finds an open Jack Gurr. Gurr sends it towards the face of goal, and it'll bounce out. Malongo still in the penalty area. Malongo scored in a similar fashion against the Roots. This time it's sent into the stands and will be a goal kick for Petruni.
Only difference is Okeem O'Connor Ward there to defend him in that 1v1. Probably studied his game tape, knows, hey, you can't give this guy even an inch to breathe. All of San Antonio FC having done their work there, but Malongo just feels like a matter of time. He's there to receive a lot of those second balls, the turnovers. He's done so well on the drive. I would still, as they are, I'm sure, keep your eye on him because it only feels like a matter of time.
Our fourth official has been handed the board to tell us how much stoppage time there will be here in a moment. Petruni tells his team don't to worry about it, although here comes a little bit of pressure, and now the ball will be picked up before Ojago could make a move. Forster Ojago stays around, though, as this is a long send across mid-pitch. 3 minutes stoppage time added here to the end of the first half. Barone. Right idea, but the defense closes on the pass. Tackle there by Okeem O'Connor Ward, but he was not in play. There you go. The flag coming up took a moment for the whistle to catch up, and a throw in here for Sacramento Republic.
O'Connor Ward's feet so fast. I could not tell you on first look if that was in or out, but quick feet there.
Too strong on the pass. Petruni will be able to handle. A minute into those minimum of 3 stoppage time minutes added. Thiago Suarez. Alex Crognale with a nice look ahead. Lucio Barone hit as he sent the ball forward, and a foul will be called against Barone.
It's one of those challenges that made me gasp. Almost looked like there was a hyperextension, but it looks like more of the challenge there in the ankle. Looks like the turn of the ankle that happened on the fall rather than the actual collision.
Aaron Essel hitting the deck and needing a moment for his shin will add a little bit of stoppage time here to the end of the first half, and a free kick awarded to Sacramento Republic FC. Michel Benitez will handle the free kick just past the halfway line. Sends it the opposite direction. Essel. Good through ball. Benitez able to recover after being off balance. Leaves it for Malongo. Switch the pitch here. Timmer. chip. Back to Timmer. Shift of the gears, Rodriguez into the box, and then cleared out by Thiago Suarez and sent into the stands. Quick restart, and that'll be headed out of the area by Akeem O'Connor-Ward. Attacking third. Malongo will allow Aaron Essel to throw. Essel is hearing it from the SAFC fans trying to tell him, pass to the guys in red. Long throw ends up towards the 6, and a foul will be called, and that one goes against Sacramento Republic. Free kick for SAFC, and perhaps the end of the half. It is indeed. What a start for the first 45 for San Antonio FC. 2 goals to take the 2-0 lead heading into the halftime break. We have a fun halftime show for you, some produced USL Championship highlights from around the league and more information, and then we'll be back here for highlights and stats on the other side of that. 2-0 lead for San Antonio FC at Toyota Field here in San Antonio over Sacramento Republic FC on ESPN+.
Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino Hotel, Texas's premier entertainment destination. We love winners. With millions of dollars in jackpots paid, vehicles, cash, and gift giveaways monthly, the excitement never ends. Visit Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino Hotel in Eagle Pass, Texas, and find current promotions at LuckyEagleTexas.com or on social at Lucky Eagle Texas.
$10 for a large, $10 for any 3 toppings, $10 for your choice of hot crust. Like our new garlic parm hand tossed. Because there's crust, and then there's hut crust. The crust you crave, only $10. Order in the Pizza Hut app.
Oh, yeah. People in this industry know all about the f***ers at Davis Law Firm. If we get a case with their name on it, then we know for darn sure we are likely not settling cheap.
Yeah, I'm adjusting to retired life fine. I don't have to go up against the at Davis Law Firm anymore. Believe me, we tried, but it was hard to lowball those.
Dealing with insurance companies after a wreck can be a real challenge. If you're hurt, remember the 4-letter word that can help. Want more? Call the Force.
As America gears up for the biggest celebration in our history, Texas is putting our own spin on it. Like, our fireworks aren't just in the sky. We don't beat the heat, we embrace it. Marching to the band looks a little different. And we Texans even have our very own place to engage in the pursuit of happiness. At America's 250th, no store does more to help the Lone Star celebrate, along with the other 49, than HEB.
With the field for World Cup 2026 now set, the USL can enjoy its place in the countdown to history. Never before has an active USL player taken part in a World Cup, until now. For the past 2.5 years, more than 30 players from USL Championship and League One battled through World Cup qualifying. This summer, 6 of them have a chance to hit the field for their respective countries. Miami FC teammates Eloy Rom and Jurgen Locadia made history, helping Curacao qualify for the World Cup for the first time ever. Curacao will face Germany, Ivory Coast, and Ecuador in group play. And for the first time since 1974, Haiti will take part in the World Cup, following a very unique road through qualifying. 4 championship players, Duke Lacroix and Garvin Matusala of Colorado Springs, Delence Pierre from FC Tulsa, and Carl Sente from New Mexico United led Haiti through qualifying without playing a home match. Now the Haitian team faces a tough group at the World Cup with matches against Brazil, Morocco, and Scotland. But while World Cup qualifying owned the spotlight in late March, several USL players took part on U.S. youth national teams, also on the world stage. Colton Swan of Charleston Battery scored a goal for the U.S. Under-20 team against Argentina In Argentina, Orange County SC's Tyson Espy played for the under-17 team in Paraguay. And the U.S. under-18 team played in Portugal, featuring Ramiz Hamuda from Birmingham Legion, Brandon Days of Louisville City, and Jameer Johnson from Orange County SC.
Doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Prinks tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines. From early mornings to late nights. From fun with friends to winner takes all. From the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks tires will be there for the long haul.
I truly give everything that I can for them.
It's like, all right, we're in this and we're gonna go for it.
Esto es la porra, this is who we are.
Everybody here doing the heartbeat, having everybody in the stadium do that was just chills.
USL All Access returns this week. We'll break down the USL Prinks Tires Cup. 42 teams remain, but who's really got a shot at the final 8 coveted spots? We'll talk the Tampa Bay Rowdies' historic-ish start, still unbeaten through 8 games, the return of U.S. Open Cup, and the best matches to watch this weekend.
It is halftime in the USL Championship. We hope you're enjoying the match. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with a look at some of the headlines from the championship. Through 2 rounds of the Prinks Tires USL Cup, 5 championship clubs are a perfect 2-0 and lead their respective groups. Louisville City has racked up a tournament-high 8 goals so far, while Charleston and Tampa Bay own 6 goals each. And group leaders Sacramento and Colorado Springs have yet to allow a goal in the competition. Sporting Jacks defeated Sarasota Paradise in the USL Cup, earning its first ever victory, and it was a double cup matchup week for Sporting Jacks, who went on to grab a point in a 1-1 draw with FC Naples. The World Cup rosters are taking shape, and a pair of USL Championship players have earned call-ups to Haiti's national team. Colorado Springs switchbacks Duke Lacroix has made 6 appearances for Haiti, while Carl Sante from El Paso Locomotive has played in more than 20 matches for his national team. Upcoming national spotlight games on CBS Sports Network, Sporting Jacks in San Antonio next Wednesday, then a big one between Louisville City and Tampa Bay Rowdies on the 30th, and another tough test for the Rowdies against Charleston Battery on June 10th. This is the USL Halftime Update. Let's get you back out to your match.
Good morning, San Antonio. Hey, there he is. The Spurs pulled off an exciting win last night.
Good morning.
Where's my high five at?
You good?
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah. Okay.
Taco
be all night. With the fresh mixed flavors, San Antonio Spurs are the true game changers. Taco be all day. Go Spurs, go!
Buy a Coyote combo and get a free collectible Spurs cup. Only at Taco Palenque, official fresh mix of the Spurs.
A woman in Austin was depositing a cashier's check at the bank, but she deposited it right into a storm drain. The frost banker found another way in. Time out! So he went into the hole, like a cave diver.
A real spelunker of the streets.
What about the check?
It's money in the bank.
Ka-ching!
Ka-chang.
What do you do when you throw out your back?
Use caution when lifting heavy objects.
How do I eliminate back pain?
I'm not tracking any rain right now.
Back pain?
Got it. Calling back Shane.
Forget it.
Sorry, didn't get that. High-quality emergency care. Find your nearest location.
2-0 San Antonio FC lead here at Toyota Field over Sacramento Republic FC. We're at the half here as the first 45 minutes have been a fun one on Pride Night in San Antonio. Hello everyone, I'm Carl Schoening along with Katie Goodman. And Katie, we've talked about it throughout the broadcast this evening, but SAFC's onslaught of goals has continued as they have really found their stride on the offensive side of the ball.
They've done such a great job moving into the attack. We knew this game would come down to those transitional moments, and San Antonio FC simply has done a better job. Sordo being in the right place at the right time. Same with Eurofave as well, being in the right place at the right time. But it started early, the pressure coming in from San Antonio FC. Just an onslaught of pressure. Vitiello able to really contain things up until that goal there from Sordo, able to slot it by right into the side netting. And it wasn't long after that, a really close call and huge save here from Joey Bracciuni just to keep things as they were. And it's probably goal of the game here for Dimitri Eurofave, able to bend it around. The all-time Danny Vitiello, just a great goal. No keeper, I think, could have got to the end of that one.
Yeah, goals in the 27th and 33rd minute for SAFC. Of the three on target, two have gotten past Danny Vitiello. That is quite the evening for the strikers for SAFC. Anything else stand out to you, Katie?
Well, it's interesting to see the difference in possession there, the 59% to San Antonio's 40. Yes, it's still really close, but it's those 18 clearances that are leading the way for San Antonio. They're just not allowing Sacramento to breathe at all whatsoever. They're really dictating the game here. Even though they're lower in possession, they've just done so well at forcing Sacramento wide. So they're closing down the middle of that field totally and completely, which is what Sacramento likes to do. They like to go in and then out into the wings, get the cross in, but instead they're forcing them to dribble up the wing, just not giving them any clear looks, and they're just not capitalizing on those transitional moments like San Antonio has. So will be interesting to see what happens here in the second half.
HEB presenting the halftime stats and highlights here as it's a 2-0 lead for SAFC over Sacramento Republic FC here at Toyota Field. Second 45 on its way here on ESPN Plus when we come back. See if SAFC can extend their lead.
Dude.
At Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino Hotel, Texas's premier entertainment destination, we love winners. With millions of dollars in jackpots paid, vehicles, cash, and gift giveaways monthly, the excitement never ends. Visit Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino Hotel in Eagle Pass, Texas, and find current promotions at LuckyEagleTexas.com or on social at Lucky Eagle Texas.
When you donate or shop at Goodwill, you'll help train future nurses' aides through our local career training programs. Good job, everyone.
San Antonio FC Soccer is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. And by Methodist Healthcare, proudly offering 10 neighborhood ERs across San Antonio. Halftime coming to a close here at Toyota Field. 2-0 SAFC lead. I'm Carl Schoening along with Katie Goodman. Already a substitution coming into effect here to start the second half as Jared Timmer's evening is done, as well as Tyler Wolf. And entering our 17 and 19, Dominic Bonner and Mark Anthony Kay.
Mark Anthony Kay is the player that I had mentioned is the one to watch. Has spent a lot of time in Major League Soccer, was part of that all-star squad when he played for LAFC, and is just really tenured player. Has been injured, has been back the last couple of games, so interesting to see him come out here in the second half. Midfielder position, you can expect him to really cause some problems and create some distance there in the midfield. It was so compact for San Antonio. You know that he's gonna do some good stuff here in this first half.
Enter the Brinks Tires USL Cup Game Day Kit Sweepstakes for your chance to win a prize pack worth up to $2,000. Scan the QR code on the screen and enter today. I certainly will be scanning that QR code and seeing if broadcasters are eligible to win that prize pack. We are underway for the second 45 minutes of the match here between SAFC and Sacramento Republic. And, well, Sacramento has their work cut out for them. Those two changes maybe could make a little bit of a difference, but I'm sure right away here you see the first touch for Bonner as he tries to take it to the end line but couldn't quite control it, and a goal kick for Joey Petruni.
Wise for Sacramento to start changing things up early on, adding in some fresh legs between Bonner and Anthony Kay, two guys who play really well off of each other.
Petruni had the wind catch that one and push it across the touchline. Throw in for Sacramento. Jack Gurr remains on the pitch. Gurr with the throw. Gets it right back to Mark Anthony Kay. Cronali heads it towards center circle. Cuello with the interception. Jorge Hernandez slows the pace a little and then tries to find Cuello on the run. Emil Cuello pulls back, waits for some teammates. Mitch Tainer across halfway line. Mikey Maldonado sends it to his back line. Thiago Suarez. Mitch Tainer forces the pass to Cuello, who's able to collect. Tainer finds Maldonado in some space. Switch to the pitch. Yerofe with a strike outside the box off the crossbar. Yerofe tries to recycle the service. Not there on the poacher's goal as Essel got a little too casual, and it'll be a goal kick and a sigh of relief for Danny Vitiello.
Loving the confidence from this young Yerofe. I think all it took was opening up the scoring line early on this season. Has no fear taking shots from distance. I mean, saved by the crossbar is Danny Vitiello because that had some power behind it. And even there for the follow-up, just can't see it all the way through.
Vitiello leaves his goal kick short. SAFC undefeated in 44 straight USL matches when leading at halftime, 38-0-6.
Question is, can they keep this one as a clean sheet? On top of it, it's a really good time to be playing some of your best soccer. A lot of teams really hit that point when it comes right before the playoffs, but to be doing that even despite having some key pieces missing out of your lineup is a huge deal for San Antonio.
Ball gets past the back line and then goes wide. Good attempt there by Bonner, but
really lucky there for San Antonio that one was off the mark. Bonner doing such a great job just of hanging out behind that back line. I don't think He saw him coming.
Bonner just wide on the attempt. Joey Petrucci. Sends it away on this goal kick. Sorto misses it on the aerial duel. Emil Cuello comes up with it and then leaves it. Able to recover. Maldonado, with the defense collapsing on him, finds Cuello. Now Mitch Tainer will reset on the back line. Thiago Suarez sends it across the halfway line. Hakeem O'Connor Ward. Looking for a through ball intercepted there by Lee Desmond. Trading possessions, Cronulla comes up with it and finds Jorge Hernandez. Yerofev decides to be patient with it. Hakeem O'Connor Ward works here to Cronulla. Switch of the pitch. Mitch Tainer. Tainer looking across the 18. Deflected by Gurr. Nice way to break up the rhythm. Bonner. Head of steam across the midway line. Malongo. Inside the box, then outside the box. Then Hakeem O'Connor Ward comes in for the tackle. Arturo Rodriguez with a soft strike that Petrucci will play on a bounce.
Sacramento is doing a much better job here of dribbling through the middle. I think in that first half, they were trying to pass their way around San Antonio. San Antonio, I think they're realizing they have to drive it at them there. That's where Bonner comes into play. That's where Mark-Anthony Kaye comes into play. As you can see, things have already got a little mixed up here just because of these two guys.
Free kick as Yerofev hits the deck. SAFC. Playing like they're down, it feels like, and they sort of gave that vibe heading into the locker rooms at the end of the first half as well, with some high pressure, looking for a third goal.
Well, they know with this Sacramento team that you just cannot allow them to hang around because they are sneaky, they're good on the attack, they're even better on defense. So you got to take the chances when you have them.
Jack Gurr pushes down Jorge Hernandez and disagrees with the whistle. That'll give a free kick to SAFC. A quick restart. Sorto into the box. Sorto sends it across, and then I think a whistle will hold things up here as it looks like a flag was up and an offside called against SAFC. As understandable, that caught everybody off guard, including us as the broadcasters.
Yeah. Thank goodness the camera people were paying attention, right? Because that was a really quick restart.
Our camera crew always on top of things. They do a great job making sure they relay the images to you. Vitiello will try the free kick from outside of the box. Lee Desmond. Benitez was able to play it to the back line, and then Bonner steals it and then finds a running Arturo Rodriguez, who had a tackle there on a great defensive effort. What a great play by Jorge Hernandez to break up that potential rhythm there from Rodriguez.
Yeah, Jorge Hernandez, Mikey Maldonado doing a great job of just getting back to help on defense. And again, it's what makes the San Antonio team so hard to beat on the defensive side is they stay compact all across the field.
Maldonado is trying to push it forward, and now Mitch Tainer will slow things down.
Yeah, he had numbers up, but he probably didn't want that disconnection to happen, so not a bad idea going back. As you can see, things slowing down here for San Antonio with Sac Republic running that mid to low block. They kind of want San Antonio to be forced to find a tight seam through.
Hakeem O'Connor Ward will get past Benitez. Cuts back at the 18, lost the ball. Kalsha will collect at the 18 and work it across the line vertically. Mitch Tainer with the interception. Cuello with the touch there to Hernandez, and now Tainer will control. Barone gives Tainer a fresh touch, as does Hernandez. Fans really into it here at Toyota Field.
Gotta love the enthusiasm.
Kaye with a slow roller that'll be taken here by Malongo. Malongo decides to try and go for a distributor roll. Jack Gurr looking for a cross. And a slide tackle there by Jorge Hernandez who forced the corner.
Interesting how it's San Antonio FC's first corner kick opportunity when they've had so much pressure building up this whole time. And it's that hustle there from Jorge just to force.
Fifth corner of the evening here for Sacramento Republic. Benitez with the short option of Rodriguez. Arturo Rodriguez will handle. Back out to Benitez. Nice touch there to Rodriguez, and then in for a goal. Scored there by Fortuna Jago. Cuts into the SAFC lead. First goal of the evening for Sacramento Republic. Comes in the 55th minute.
Not uncommon here for Sacramento to make things happen in the mix. And again, it's not always that first service or the second ball in. A lot of times it's just the follow through, something that Sacramento is so good. They bring waves and waves of pressure. And just like that, you cannot allow this team to sit around, because closing the gap here by 1 goal, they're still very much in it.
Forster Jago gets his second goal of the season in USL Championship play. And you were saying something about 2-0 being the worst lead in soccer. Well, half of the battle handled there by Sacramento Republic to make it a 1-goal lead. SAFC we're going to get it right back. Faith, who scored the goal in the 33rd minute, sends it back out. Hakeem O'Connor-Ward fights off Benitez for the ball. O'Connor-Ward able to get it off here to Barone.
It's been an absolute dogfight between Hakeem O'Connor-Ward and Benitez over there on that right side.
Tainter's pass intercepted, but then collected by Jorge Hernandez. Jorge Hernandez tries to get through the defenders. Slow roller to the mark, and then it'll go in. Ooh, flag is up. Offside called on Sorto.
Offside was there, but I'm loving his tenacity, the willingness to still track that one down. And again, it feels like it's only a matter of time for him for another opportunity really presents itself. He does such a good job of camping out at the right place at the right time. Let's see. Yes, as you can see there, Sacramento has done a really good job of just bringing their back line up, catches him offside.
The defense collapsing on the ball eliminates the opportunity, and Hakeem O'Connor-Ward will claim this one. Hakeem O'Connor-Ward sends it to the penalty area. Sacramento able to pull it down and control possession. Jack Gurr with plenty of space. In the touch. Just a little too far ahead for Bonner. Thiago Suarez. Here comes a little bit of high pressure from Sacramento. Jorge Hernandez slips up. Okay. Chips it to the 18. Malongo. Just offside.
Jorge Hernandez still trying to walk it off. I think there's still a little bit of slipping and sliding going on in that field. He does so well to turn on a dime, but it's tough to do when there's been a lot of rain in the area.
Very fortunate that the forecasted rain just this morning. You and I were wondering if we were going to play this match, and we haven't had a drop since.
Knock on wood.
Yes, please. If there's any wood nearby.
Still got some time to go.
Maldonado plays on. And a little too strong on the through ball intended for Jorge Hernandez. Vitiello will control. Essel. Aaron Essel. Passes away from the pressure. Lee Desmond. Nice diagonal pass on the switch of the pitch. Benitez, who's playing on the back line since substitutions at the half, looking for Malongo. And a foul will be called as Malongo hits the deck, and Hakeem O'Connor-Ward, we were talking about that battle that they've had all evening. They're going to call it a little bit tighter, and a yellow card is given to Hakeem O'Connor-Ward. His 4th of the season.
He's got that dog in him, as they would say. Just absolute bulldog fight there on that outside back area. But yeah, that one's going to get you booked when you've got your hand on the jersey, a push down. You want to keep those elbows low if you're going to do a body check. Now they've got a yellow apiece.
Yes, Moongo given a yellow for kicking a ball girl's ball. It had to be controlled on his emotions. Tackle is whistled for a foul. Mayo Moongo once again falls to the grass. This time goes against Cronulla.
Yeah, they want the foul for the swiping of the ankles, which is completely understandable.
Dangerous set piece here for Sacramento. They're looking to tie this match up 2 goals apiece. Arturo Rodriguez, who had the assist in the goal by Forster Jago, will now clear out. Benitez. Essel. Sends it through the wall and wide left. Wow. There were plenty of defenders there for SAFC, and it looks like it must have bounced off one of them because a corner kick will be awarded to Sacramento.
San Antonio with some luck on their side there as that one goes right by. It looks like actually Joey Bertruni did get a bit of a glove on it, so no luck to be had there. All work there from Joey Bertruni to deny that one.
So give Bertruni a save.
Yeah.
It was the corner set piece that scored the last goal for Sacramento Republic. Rodriguez will send it across, and it's headed out by Cuello. And then sent way away from the box there by Jorge Hernandez. Sorto trying to track it down. Can't win the aerial duel. Halfway through the 61st minute. Essel with a long send. Looking for Forster Jago, and instead Thiago Suarez intercepts.
Some great one-touch movement all the way from the back for San Antonio.
Barone was looking for a run. Instead, Maldonado will send it on the opposite side. Yerofe with the through ball. Jorge Hernandez clipped from behind, advantage play to Yerofe, looking for a strike at the penalty arc. Right to Vitiello.
What we've seen from Eurofave so far, Vitiello lucky to have that one go right to his hands, but Jorge Hernandez still rolling on the ground there. When you look at that collision that happened back there.
This is a tough one. Jorge Hernandez takes a cleat to his Achilles.
Ooh, that's tough. But understandable for the ref to allow Eurofave to play on.
Neil Collins very frustrated with the delay. We have a mic right on him, so he's a Scottish and you might not understand him, but if he's cursing, hopefully Mickey Mouse and company will be okay with it. As you get to see here in his second season at Sacramento Republic, he's fiery on the sidelines.
Yeah, you can hear him for yourself. It's up to you to decipher it. But yeah, Coach of the Year when he was at Tampa Bay Rowdies, and brought a couple of guys from Tampa Bay over with him, and has done a really good job with the Sacramento team the past 2 seasons, making it to playoffs both seasons, all the way to quarterfinals. Excuse me, the first season to quarterfinals, hoping to go there this season as it is his second season.
Sorto with the send. Vitiello decides to keep that one away from the 18. Hakeem O'Connor Ward will pull down. SAFC retains possession. Yeah, this is a very interesting history for Sacramento Republic FC. Their inaugural season in 2012, they win USL Championship. As Sorto heads that in offside is Yerofev. But continuing the point, Sacramento FC actually had plans in 2019 to build a new stadium out at the rail yard in Sacramento and move to MLS side. And, well, the pandemic changed those plans. The stadium was not going to be built by February of 2021. They decided to scrap those plans and remaining in USL Championship, staying at their home field of Heart Health Park, which was always meant to be temporary since their 2012 inauguration. And just now, they announced about a month ago that they will break ground. They're already broken ground on that promised pitch. It'll be 20,000 seat capacity stadium. Now a big opportunity. Rodriguez gets it right to Petruni and then cleared out by Crognale. But just to wrap up that point, obviously no promise of moving up to MLS, but Sacramento FC very much wanted to reward their fans with that new stadium. They'll get it in spring of 2028.
Well, that's been the challenge for the USL Championship, is teams going over to Major League Soccer, wanting to get bigger crowds into their city. But, you know, when you look at these matchups, especially Sacramento Republic, San Antonio FC, both really good teams that make the USL Championship what it is. So, you know, who's to say that maybe now that USL Championship has developed League One a little bit more and they're trying to bring in another tier of USL Championship, who knows what might happen there for them if they go with MLS or stay within the USL system.
Forster Jago will be exiting the match for Kyle Edwards, so there goes the goal scorer for Sacramento Republic FC. Edwards playing in his 9th match, only started 1 to this point of the season, has 2 goals in USL Championship play.
Has 1 goal against San Antonio when he played for Hartford Athletic, and when he was over there he had 8 goals as a sub, set the league record at that time for goals coming off the bench. So when I talk about the firepower that Sacramento Republic has, he's one of those guys.
There's a foul that goes against Arturo Rodriguez. He's trying to sell it that Mikey Maldonado was the guilty party, and we're going to have a look at the replay as Arturo Rodriguez still pleads his case from the grass.
Quite a bit of arm and hand holding, looking like Wemby out there. I almost said SGA, but Wemby and Hartenstein.
Yeah, quite the physical match happening in San Antonio on the basketball side of things. Cuejo had a reaction, able to keep that one in play on the quick restart. Sorto with a nice touch. Jorge Hernandez able to collect. Pushed off his mark, hits the deck, and no foul called yet. And Jorge Hernandez continues to fight for it. And coming in here, Sorto's going to get mixed up. We have a brouhaha.
Looks like Mark Anthony Kaye right in the middle of it. Shirts being grabbed. Not sure if any punches were thrown.
Vitiello coming in as a peacemaker, separating his teammates. Mitch Tainer, who's never needed an excuse to come to the defense of his teammates, came all the way in from the back line. Here's a look at it.
So there's a big shove. That should have been the foul right there. And then you've got a cleat on the stomach. You've got a couple of guys coming in. And that's, I think, what really fired things up is best player on the team is there in the middle, Sordo, just responding to Mark Anthony Kaye at this moment. I think Mark Anthony Kaye just trying to settle things down as well so they don't escalate. Both teams just holding here.
Alex Crognale getting into it with the Sacramento sideline box.
You can see Mark Anthony Kaye collar all bent out of shape.
You were saying something about this being a rivalry, Katie?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No shortage of drama.
They just showed the replay of Jorge Hernandez taking a cleat to the gut. Looks like Mark Anthony Kaye is going to be given a yellow card.
And we saw just a bit there, too. Head coach Carlos Llamosa not happy with that call, but stepping back. And still the drama continues as Mitch Tainer's over here on the side trying to separate Jack Gurham. Mikey Maldonado, I mean, are we going to play soccer? Or are we just going to keep the drama going on here? But yeah, I mean, that is a push. That's a step into the stomach. I mean, things should have been controlled by the ref at that point right there.
Sorto gets involved to come to the defense of his teammate. And seems like we're ready to resume this match. Good luck to whoever's figuring out how much stoppage time needs to be added from that one. And a free kick here for Vitiello. And we'll see if this is the end of the tempers flaring. I get the feeling we're going to be in for fun into the third of this match.
Oh, yeah. What is this? Another 5 minutes added from this brouhaha? Is that what you call it?
That's what I call it, yeah. I like that in kerfluffle.
Kerfluffle, yeah. Scuffle.
Yeah,
definitely more than a scuffle. But, man, is this San Antonio crowd amped.
This is one of the more hostile crowds in USL Championship, and they definitely will give an earful to the officials and Sacramento the rest of the evening.
You can see Kurt Kalov and Santiago Patino waiting there on the side, most likely going to take Sordo out of the lineup. And Patino is not a guy that you want to get in a so-called kerfuffle with. He's one of the strongman presences here that San Antonio has.
Off the restart. Crognale heads it up and will angle off a defender or an attacker for Petruni to get the collection. Joey Petruni will restore order.
A lot of times when a lot of this drama happens, it's the next play when something converts. So good on San Antonio to keep the focus going even in that moment. Kind of wild, though, for Sacramento Republic to have the kick in that situation, all things considered.
That's very accurate.
Just realized after the fact, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. SAFC has it at center circle. Jorge Hernandez seems to be okay. Leads for Akeem O'Connor-Ward.
Sacramento clearly trying to bait San Antonio forward. You can tell they're wanting to get out in the transitional moments.
Essel knocks down Mikey Maldonado. No advantage to be played to and a free kick for SAFC. I beg your pardon. It's a foul that goes against SAFC and a quick restart here for Sacramento. Malongo. Marked there by Akeem O'Connor-Ward. They get into a slight arm wrestling match, and a foul will be called against, well, I think O'Connor-Ward. No, just throw. This is the foul that I thought was against Essel and then advantage not played to. Yeah. But they whistle it there at the back line against SAFC.
I'm wondering if the refs are getting teams confused here, because that does not make a lot of sense.
So Kalov will come in for Mitri Yerofev, one of the goal scorers, and Santiago Patino also comes into the match for Christian Sorto. You were right on both accounts there, Katie.
Yeah, interesting situation here. Too bad Sordo, you could tell he really wanted it, did such a great job of putting himself in those key spots. I think the ceiling is really high for him moving forward the rest of the season. Really made his presence known out here this evening.
Back to the defensive half of the pitch for Sacramento on that throw. Okay, with the through ball, Petruni able to scoop it up. Petruni hearing it from Kyle Edwards, who is on top of it. Crognale. Backwards pass here to Thiago Suarez. Mitch Tainer. Loves the send. Just a little too strong. Vitiello will collect. Lee Desmond. High press coming from SAFC, and a strong pass could be handled by Arturo Rodriguez. Emil Cuello. Backwards to Tainer. Suarez has to get rid of it at the penalty mark. Nice direction. Played ahead. Patino unable to beat Vitiello to the ball. Vitiello doesn't see that Patino comes back into the play. Ward goes for the open goal, and Vitiello is able to recover.
Great hustle there from Patino. Able to just stir things up there in the back for Vitiello, but man, so close.
Dangerous tackle. This will be a yellow card as Gurr hits the deck. Arturo Rodriguez takes offense to it, and now he's going to have to be separated. One more look at it.
I mean, it's ball, but it's also legs at the same time. I think it's just the intensity of the tackle here. Ref trying to slow things down, but it's hard to ignore Pep Casas stirring the pot a little bit out there after the fact. Really, really, really wants to get underneath Mikey Maldonado's skin.
Maldonado picks up his 5th yellow card of the season. Arturo Rodriguez will have the free kick at the edge of the attacking third. Jack Gurr seems to be okay as he shook it off, and we can resume play quickly. Kicking with the wind to his back, Rodriguez has plenty of options lined up across the 18. Arturo Rodriguez getting some last-second coaching from Neil Collins. Rodriguez keeps it on the floor. Kalsha. Back out to Benitez. Malongo. Malongo chips it high towards the penalty mark, headed out. Santiago Patino couldn't take advantage for the counter there as Kalev was ready to run on the wing. Sacramento will reset the SAFC spacing. Jack Gurr gets it right back. Foul go against SAFC. Arturo Rodriguez sees a yellow card issued to Jorge Hernandez.
Refs starting to get yellow card happy here.
I said when that happens.
Considering a lot of the fouls that we've seen already in the first half, you can tell he's just trying to get the game under control. And it looks like what happened was just a little bit of continued momentum. I mean, when you look at the size of Jorge Hernandez versus the muscle on Jack Gurr, I'm sorry, I think that one was a bit of a sell.
Robert Vinci, though, as you say, trying to get this game under control, hands out a yellow card. SAFC is going to have to be careful with all the yellow cards issued to them. Jack Gurr looking for a cross. Speeding down the sideline before the end line, gets it off, but Mitch Tanner's there to intercept. And then Jorge Hernandez sends that one off to Arturo Rodriguez across the end line. Goal kick for Petruni.
Clever work from Jorge Hernandez. Saw his options closing down there in the corner. Went for the goal kick.
Petruni also taking advantage of the opportunity to slow things down. I don't think he'll get a yellow card for doing so. The officials probably appreciate his slow pace here before he sends it away, although he doesn't take too long. Calculated pass. Pressuring the back line. Jorge Hernandez trying to break free and will be whistled for a foul. Jack Gurr takes the hit. And Jorge Hernandez then pushed down by Essel. Essel full body into him. This could be a red.
In all seriousness, Essel has been the instigator in quite a few tackles, has not been called as of late. He needs to be reprimanded. There you go. There's your yellow. It was, in fact, a foul, but he's had quite a few even leading up to this moment.
Aaron Essel gets his 5th yellow card of the season. You see one right there on the aerial duel. And then I thought it might have been a headbutt coming in. We'll see here as Jorge Hernandez doesn't agree with the foul against SAFC, and it's just Essel with a shove.
Yeah, completely after the fact, and it's like, come on.
No need.
The ref is already testy. Why are you testing him even more right now? But I mean, that one foul that went for them, I think it was against Mikey Maldonado. He came in. I mean, he's been pushing guys from behind all game, so, you know. It's only a matter of time. You're going to get booked.
Temper's starting to flare here. We still have plenty of time in the 77th minute and plenty of stoppage time to be added to the end of this one.
Well, yeah, there's going to be a whole nother quarter of play at this point.
Well, like I said, Jorge Hernandez, it looked to me like he might have been headbutted. It doesn't seem like it on the replay, but he's getting checked out to see if he passes a simple concussion test. Shakes his head, yes, I'm good to go.
Yeah, no, just some body-to-body hit is I think what happened. But, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if it also wasn't a message to say, hey, stop messing around with the ball. We need to get this ball back in play. We're down by 1.
So Essel does seem to make contact with Hernandez's head. We couldn't necessarily see if it was a headbutt there, but Essel unnecessarily throwing his body into Jorge Hernandez. And as the dust clears, Vitiello will send away the free kick. Danny Vitiello has seen 2 balls get past him for SAFC's first 2 goals in that first half. Sacramento Republic cut into the lead earlier in this second half. They're looking for an equalizer. Amidst all of the chaos, Danny Vitiello sends it across the halfway line. Santiago Suarez will head it towards center circle. Kalev leaves it in some space here. Kim O'Connor Ward. out wide. Kalev at the 18. Kalev into the penalty area for Barone. And then just miscued trying to find Patino on the outside.
I think he was expecting the continued run there from Patino, hoping to kind of ticky-tacky their way out of that corner, but you're gonna have to take those opportunities when they come for San Antonio, because Sacramento's defense is really locked down here in the second half.
And I don't think this is to open up a substitution window. Next opportunity, Ryan Spalding is going to come into the match, and it does look like it will be an open substitution window, so that'll be the end of the evening for Michel Benitez, and Ryan Spalding will come in for his 8th match of the season. He's somebody who has started 6 on the year, has an assist.
Actually played for Coach Collins in Tampa Bay back in 2023, went to UNC Charlotte. Also played for New England Revolution for 4 seasons. So he's, again, a guy with quite a bit of talent, has made it to Team of the Week in that first week. And, you know, I think it's just one of those situations where it's a lot of talent on this team, and, you know, everybody's fighting injuries as well. And so, but it seems to be a Sacramento Republic squad that's fully on fire.
Jack Gurr was looking to find Kyle Edwards. He was pushed off his line by Thiago Suarez, and Joey Petruni will have a free kick after the antics there by Edwards, who leaves something near the 6 for Petruni to clean up on that ball. Robert Vinci certainly has had his hands full managing this one as the referee. Petruni finding his mark on the goal, on the 6th, and we'll have the goal kick. Petruni kicking into the wind. Throwing for SAFC. Neil Collins with some expressive coaching on the sidelines.
Expressive indeed, trying to tell his guys to get up.
Emil Cuello told that he's gone far enough on his throw. Work his way up a little bit further. Trying to find Jorge Hernandez. Essel heads that one right to Barone, who sends it right to Vitiello. Spalding, plenty of space. He wants to push the tempo. Spalding in stride. Suarez clears to the stands. Throw in the attacking third here for Sacramento. Spalding, the fresh legs, will also throw. Bounced it out to Lee Desmond, the captain. Essel switches the pitch. Jack Gurr. Jorge Hernandez there to mark and force the pass backwards. Aaron Essel in center circle finds Spalding on the left side. Mael Malongo. Marked by Akeem O'Connor-Ward. Looking for the cross. Gets it to Arturo Rodriguez. Rodriguez tripped up in the area. No foul called, and Alex Cronali clears it away.
Yeah, no foul at all. Completely great work there from Thiago Suarez just to read the moment.
Arturo Rodriguez really wanted it. Tries to send it back in, and once again, Suarez denies him. Aaron Essel recycles the service, and a wasted effort. Goal kick for SAFC. Essel probably wishes he had that touchback.
As I'm sure many of these guys do here out here tonight. And a lot of close calls on both sides, especially in this second half, as things really ramp up.
I think Joey Petruni was just issued a yellow card. We were talking about him taking his time on the goal kick. That was a very not rushed, but not necessarily slow. That's an interesting yellow card issued to the keeper.
Yeah, again, I think the ref just trying to get this game under control. So it's going to be card happy no matter what you do.
We're going to have to be careful we don't get cards up here in the broadcast booth,
right?
Katie.
If only he knew what we were saying up here. I would have been carded a long time ago, I think.
Mark Anthony Kay called for the foul. Free kick for SAFC. Yeah. Luckily, they don't have a live feed to us. We might have been ejected.
San Antonio has Nelson Flores Blanco on the side, ready to go in.
And he's going to come in for Jorge Hernandez, who has taken a beating this evening. Jorge Hernandez will get a standing ovation from the crowd. Flores Blanco, fresh legs here for the final 10 minutes of the match.
Probably for the best to bring Jorge out, considering how much he was getting fouled. And last thing you want is Jorge Hernandez sitting on a double yellow going into the next match. Not having him was such a key piece, but this does change the game. A lot of time left here still, especially considering all the overtime.
July 4th is the next home match, so hopefully if you wanted to come out here to Toyota Field, you did. SAFC versus Monterey Bay FC. Here's a count in the other direction. Arturo Rodriguez, marked by Suarez. Just wide on the shot attempt. Petruni was reading it the whole way on the angle, and he's grabbing his hamstring. We have a pause in play for Petruni now.
Never a good sign when you've got a player holding the hamstring. Those hamstrings are so tricky, and it's so hard for these goalkeepers to just show up, step in. You know, Richard Sanchez is trying to prep to get ready, but it's so hard as a goalkeeper. You just don't have the time for that explosiveness. But here it is on that breakaway, and he does the full extension, and I think it's off that last burst that was really hurting him there as he's taking his time slowly to get up.
Yeah, he has to explode off of his left leg, and that's what he's grabbing here. And he'll get it checked out as we talk about stoppage time being added from the brouhaha earlier. Now we have the injury and all the yellow cards assessed. It has been a wild evening. Y'all didn't even see the blackout that happened 30 minutes in the area. We were wondering if we were even going to have a game tonight because the lights weren't going to work.
Yeah, gotta love that Texas power grid shutting down when you need it the most, you know. No hard feelings, Texas. At least it wasn't a, you know,
the snowpocalypse.
The snowpocalypse, yeah.
I think we've all blanked that one out as much as we could.
Yeah, trauma. But no, I mean, soccer gods were on everyone's side between eliminating the rain and then also getting kickoff going at a decent time. So, but Joey Petruni popping back up. Crazy to see this.
It seemed like it could have just been cramp as he was being worked on there. That's a solid enough kick planting off of that left leg, and Santiago Patino heads this in the right direction, and Kalev is whistled offside. I don't agree with that one.
Good hustle nonetheless from Kurt Kalev.
You even hear Carlos Llamosa, or at least I did, say offside who. Kalev was the only real option.
Yeah.
Essel pushes once again as Patino, you mentioned he's a bit of an enforcer. He's being a bit of an instigator. Here's the offside if we want to look at it.
Yeah, nobody at all whatsoever offside. Who on earth is calling this here?
I do have his name, but I'll leave it off of the public channels for now.
Yeah, not great.
Loose ball will be collected here by Malongo. Malongo chipped and pushed off his line. They let him play on as it'll be an SAFC throw. Maybe a makeup call. Center circle, Patino clipped as he went for the aerial duel. Essel will track it down. Jack Gurr. Back to Aaron Essel. Spalding. Marked by Kalev.
Got Vonner and Gurr on the switch. Just didn't get it over in time, but intention was good there for Sacramento.
Lucio Barone whistled for the foul, and Jack Gurr has to send a new ball in from the other side. Quick restart. Spalding with space. Spalding cuts back, and now Sacramento looks to build out in the attacking third. Center circle. Essel with chip.
Sacramento's got to learn to switch that ball a little bit quicker. I think they go 1, 2, 3 passes before they get it over, but big opportunity.
Emil Cuello finds Patino. He doesn't have numbers. He doesn't care. He's going to send into the penalty area for a strike. Trying to find space. Teammates starting to catch up, and then sends it towards the post, and it'll be caught there by Vitiello.
I think he was trying to work to get the corner and it just slipped by there.
Aaron Essel.
But you can see that San Antonio FC is starting to run a little ragged. Typically, lots of numbers up in those situations.
Malongo, marked by Crognale, trying to get past him. Crognale with the slide tackle will send it in for a corner.
This is what makes Crognale such a valuable piece for San Antonio. One of the best center backs here in the league. Just the way he stands people up. He's got the physicality. He sees the ball out. It's not ugly or overly aggressive, just composed.
One more look at it, but Arturo Rodriguez restarts too quick on the corner for us to show you.
They are wasting no time here trying to equalize.
Kalsha in the box and then out of it. Spalding. Spalding gets past Patino into the area. Chips it across the face of goal. Misses the target. Couple players in the area. Nobody on either side able to get in on it, and it'll be a goal kick for Joey Petruni.
San Antonio has done a much better job of marking on those corner kick opportunities, set pieces that feel like corners, just not giving Sacramento any space there. I think they learned their lesson the hard way earlier this half.
90th minute wrapping up, and early indications are 7 minutes of stoppage time minimum. Joey Petruni sends it away to wrap up the scheduled 90. Patino pulled down, no whistle. There's the official 7 minutes of stoppage time added. Spalding trying to force the issue. Mael Malongo, marked by Akeem O'Connor Ward. Spalding going to switch the pitch. Okay. Gurr. Bonner. Malongo waiting for something. Chip by Kashal right to Malongo. Across the 6 and off the boot of Bonner. Skies it over the crossbar and a goal kick for Petruni.
Close call as things heat up here for Sacramento. San Antonio's going to have to do something a little bit different. They're allowing Sacramento to play at them a little bit too much for comfort if you're a San Antonio fan. Doing really well just to get space away from the defenders. Bonner with too much room there. But either way, a ton of traffic. I don't think he would have made it on frame even if he had directed it so.
Petruni sends this one way away from the box across the halfway line. Essel heads it in his direction and then headed the other direction by Maldonado. Teams just trying to claim possession here. Spalding will pull it down. Spalding gets past Koliv. Jack Gurr with options. And instead he sent it right to Mikey Maldonado. Maldonado's header gets it over to Flores Blanco, who sends it to the back line. Sacramento senses they're running out of time. Bonner. That's a Jack Gurr. Cashel. Lee Desmond. Switch to the pitch to Spalding. Ryan Spalding with some space. Malongo couldn't catch up to the pass. Just a little ahead of him and a throw in for SAFC. Malongo frustrated with himself. Couldn't quite break. It's been a long evening for him as he's played the full match. Says my bad there as he realizes he was just a step late. Telling Spalding's on him. It's okay. SAFC in no particular hurry for this throw.
He's not interested in recuperating another yellow, so he has to take accountability on that one.
Intercepted throw. Sacramento trying to take advantage of the gift. Jack Gurr looking for a cross. Quickly and right to Petruni, who punches it away. Kay sends it in the area. Bonner back out to Kay. Mark Anthony Kay pushed off his mark by Barone and a free kick in a dangerous spot. And then Kay pushes off Mikey Maldonado, who had a little exception to the play.
Quite the tempers flaring as Mark Anthony Kay walks away, try to get some space. Being well defended. And that slip occurred all on its own. So you can understand why he might be so unhappy.
Lucio Barone doesn't like the whistle going against him sometimes, whether it's an SGA flop or out here on the soccer pitch. You just have to accept the whistle.
It is what it is.
Quite the wall here from SAFC. This is going to be a tough one to go direct to goal.
You know, I think SGA could be a really good soccer player, now that you mention it.
Probably,
With all
yeah.
the flops.
And he's tall. You know, 6'6" soccer player would probably be very valuable.
Oh, totally.
Selling the fouls. Just no free throws.
Yeah, no free throws. No PKs.
SAFC on the other side of the foul emergence of Sacramento. That one goes through the wall and headed out by Tainer. Right into the wall and now down.
The wall doing what it does best. Is that Jack Gurr checking the pulse of Mitch Tainer?
Tainer took that off the head hard.
Yeah.
Tainer puts his heart and soul into SAFC.
The one good thing here about Mitch Tainer is that he was able to meet the ball, which is half the battle when it comes to being hit with the ball and concussed by it. I can say that because I've been concussed from something like that before, but if you're meeting the ball, it's much less likely to happen than if it just hits you. But the fact that he was so delayed in going down, you know, that is definitely a questionable concern.
You see the concussion check. He says he's good. Gets a nice swig of water here. But yeah, Tainer. Shot to the face. He comes in the defense during the brouhaha. He is somebody who very much deserves that captain's sleeve he's adjusting.
Yeah, and he's not usually the type to sit down and flop and roll around either. So when he goes down, you're like, oh, that's a big one.
Yeah, he's like Wimby out there.
Yeah.
He's the antithesis.
Yeah, there you go.
The drop ball will go all the way back to Vitiello. Keem O'Connor-Ward able to push Malongo off his mark, and then the slide tackle to send it into touch. And they say that's last off Malongo, SAFC throw. Keem O'Connor-Ward getting the last laugh in that matchup. Might have a little bit more stoppage time added to that +7 thanks to the concussion check there by Mitch Tainer. Arturo Rodriguez wasting no time sending it forward, and Thiago Suarez heads in the right direction for SAFC. Spalding hits the grass, and a foul will be called against SAFC as Emil Cuello was in the area. Quick restart. Spalding cuts back. Kalsha has his pass intercepted, or at least deflected there by Keem O'Connor-Ward. The cross by Spalding finds Arturo Rodriguez in the area. Essel chips towards the 6. That one off the head of Kay and across the end line. Goal kick for SAFC. Mark Anthony Kay with perhaps the last best chance for Sacramento, and a very slow walk to this goal kick here for Petruni. And Crinali says, let me do it. And Petruni says, no, it's my job. Already a yellow card issued to Petruni for a slow goal kick. I'm pretty sure this time he's going to take a little bit more haste in this.
Yeah, I mean, he's already sitting on a yellow. Don't want to mess with that. That's why captain swatted that bottle out of his hand.
And a foul will go against Patino as Essel heads the deck. And then Patino will be shown a yellow card here as he delays the game a little bit further. Or at least the yellow is out. Yes, it is going to go against Patino, I believe. Santiago Patino, the latest victim of the yellow card, and now Essel is being told to restart.
It's not often that I'm a little tough on the refs, but this game's out of control. And Patino did nothing but back up to go for the ball. Not totally sure how that's supposed to result in a yellow when he wasn't even facing the player to begin with. I think there's a lot of questions here for the center ref that I think I have and a lot of people have.
I'm not a very curious person. I just enjoy this game going on here as there's another chance here for Jack Gurr. Heads it right to Petruni, who gets the save. And I think that'll just about do it. Petruni can send this one away after getting on top of it. Jack Gurr with the last best chance here.
And once again, you've got a bear hug happening against Patino, but it's not going to be Essel called for it.
Collision between Kyle Edwards and Mitch Chainer sends us to one more foul and full-time whistle. SAFC in a hard-fought rivalry match against Sacramento Republic picks up all 3 points in their last match in a while here at Toyota Field.
One thing you can say for sure is that Sacramento did not make that easy. And San Antonio, just the better team there in that first half, able to put it away, take advantage of those transitional moments and with some banger goals. But in the end here, it was Sacramento who just made it so tough for San Antonio to keep moving forward. And not, San Antonio not getting away without Sacramento getting one on them, but it just was not enough there.
So that'll do it for Toyota Field, where SAFC has a 2-0 lead at the half. That's enough to take it into the 3 points collected in a hard-fought match between SAFC and Sacramento Republic. It's been a fun one. We appreciate you joining us here on ESPN+. So for Katie Goodman and the rest of the crew, I've been Carl Schoening saying so long here from San Antonio. Can't wait until that game against Monterey Bay FC on July 4th, an 8 p.m. start here in San Antonio. We'll see you then.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.